Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot for today's pick a card reading. Our topic, which as you can see by the title down below, is a vital message from your spirit guides. So I haven't done a spirit guide reading in probably over a month or so I thought it was a pretty good time to maybe do another touch base with your spirit guides. And I asked them to come forward with what's most important for you to hear right now, hence the title, Vital Message. So without further ado, let's pick our piles for today. Pile number 1's over here. You have, very fitting for this reading, ask your spirit guide with the number 15 down here on the corner. It might be a little bit difficult to see on camera. Pile number 2 is you have life lessons again with the number 18 as this card's number. And pile number 3 is you have share the gift with the card number 4. So just to reiterate, pile 1's ask your spirit guide. Pile 2's life lessons again. Pile 3's share the gift. Feel free to pause on this part of the video if you still haven't decided which pile calls the most to you. Otherwise, whenever you are ready, my lovely piles 1's, 2's, and 3's, drop down to the description box below or the top pinned comment. Click on the timestamp for your reading there, and I will see you in our discussion about a vital message from your spirit guides. Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number 1's. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of a vital message from your spirit guides. As you recall, your pile leader today was very fittingly ask your spirit guide. We have a figure enveloped in blue with looks like gold stars coming from their hands wrapped around them on a purple background. Very gorgeous card. As always, we'll set your pile leader over here to the left next to the big pine cone. And this reading will be in 2 different sections today. We'll have the first section, which is the main what's the vital message, and the second section will be a mini parting advice from your spirit guides section at the end based on what they tell you from the first part of the reading. So I'm just going to split the cards right now. We'll talk about these ones later. And then, of course, I always like to draw the tarot cards on screen for you. So, Spirit, for my lovely pile number 1's, from their spirit guides, for their highest, best good, could you give me 5 tarot cards explaining more about what's the vital message you want to convey to them? What do they need to hear most right now? In tandem with the oracle cards already drawn. Thank you. 5 cards. Okay, that one for sure. So, spoiler alert, we have the Explorer of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups reversed in most decks, okay? We'll talk about that in a second, and then for sure this one is also popping out. Let's see, that one's calling, I think, 3. I feel like that one right behind the first, 4, and this one right here at the end, 5, okay. Excuse me. So let's reveal the oracle cards first, my lovely pile number 1's. From the Woodland Wardens Oracle, you received the Goat and Willow, Overcoming Obstacles. This is number 11 in this deck. Overcoming Obstacles, the Goat and Willow. Beautiful. Set that one up here next to your pile leader. Next up from the Folklore Oracle, you received, okay, we have a cryptid today. We have the Mothman. In this particular deck, this card means discernment, not making snap judgments about things. We'll talk about that more in a second. Actually, I'm going to set that one down here to the right. I kind of like to put the bigger cards over here. And then last but not least, from your oracle cards, from the Elle Qui Oracle, you received Futura, She Who Divines, Future Choice Judgment. Interesting. Very piercing stare in that card. Futura. Or Futura, I'm not sure if it's a soft or a hard T, but interesting. I'm actually going to maybe move these over just a little bit. Apologies, pile 1's. You're always kind of my guinea pigs for the setup of the cards every day. All right, let's reveal your tarot cards. So first up, we have the 9 of Pentacles reversed, okay? Sometimes that can indicate feeling dissatisfied with the results of a lot of effort put into something, especially in the material world, being pentacles, which are like, well, it's like the earth suit, right? All right, we have the Elder of Pentacles, another Pentacles. This is the King of Pentacles in most decks, reversed. Lacking external mastery of the material world. Okay, we'll talk about that more in a second, of course. Number 3, Judgment. moving from one phase into another, to a higher place from a lower place, metaphorically speaking. Also, this is just a gorgeous Judgment card, isn't it? So beautiful. Number 4, we have the Three of Wands reversed, feeling like we can't take action based on plans we've set in stone. Feeling stuck. And then, of course, we have the one we already, well, spoiler alert, fell out. The Explorer, or the Knight, as it's known in most decks. Knight of Cups reversed. A lack of taking action on our emotions. Okay, pile number 1s. I'm going to take 1 second to look at all of your cards in tandem and put together a cohesive message based on not just the cards themselves, but also intuitive hints that I get from your spirit guides. So 1 second, and apologies, I'm also going to take a drink. There'll be just a few moments of silence. Okay, here it comes. Finally leapt out at me. Pile number 1s. What's really standing out to me intuitively with your reading today is I feel like your spirit guides are trying to send you a message about a choice that's been looming ahead of you. I believe it's a choice that you already are aware of, or soon will be, shortly after you view this video. And I think for most of you, it's a choice regarding the material world around you. So, tangibly speaking, for most of you, that's going to be like your job or your career or a business, whatever it is that you do to make money, or it could be something regarding your house too. Sometimes I see that with Pentacles, it being the Earth suit, which is like the material world around us. So yes, career or your house, something along those lines, because you did get a lot of Pentacles cards here at the beginning. And this choice looming ahead of you is not an easy one. That's a distinct feeling I'm getting out of these cards, pile number 1s. Especially, too, because your Goat and Willow here, I'll just uncover it just a little bit because I know the tarot cards are covering it. It says, overcoming obstacles. Not an easy choice. It is something that has been difficult, or it will be difficult when you come upon this choice. And so your spirit guides are reaching out to you because they know the pressure that this puts on you. They know and understand, okay, our pile number 1s, our beloved pile number 1s, they're going through a really hard time right now, and we want to give them some advice regarding what's going on. But the issue is I feel like there might be a little bit of a pressure of some sort to make a quick choice, pile number 1s, especially because with your Mothman over here on the right, like I said, this card is about discernment. This is a card about not making snap decisions. It also is a card about considering the sources of your information when you are making decisions, because sometimes, unfortunately, like not everything on the internet is true, or not everything people tell you or give you advice on is the best advice, right? I mean, I wish it was, but we all know as adults, sometimes you have to consider the source. But there's this pressure. It's like you feel like there's a rush to make a decision. You feel like, this could be really good for me. I need to move forward as fast as possible. However, there's like a little bit of a lingering doubt in the back of your mind about, am I really making the right choice? Am I really, is this a good thing for me? And, I see that especially, too, with the Three of Wands reversed. That's about feeling like we can't take action based on our plans. Next to the Knight of Cups reversed is feeling like not taking action on our emotions and our feelings. So it might be that you even are doubting your decision in this area of choice because you feel like, well, am I just deciding with my heart? Am I being too frivolous? Am I being too... but what's driving it is the Pentacles at the beginning here at the first 2 cards. The Nine of Pentacles reversed, which, like I said, when I pulled it out, is the card of feeling like I put a lot of effort into something, but I'm not getting much back out that I should be getting based on the effort I put in. I'm not getting the fruits of my labor. And then, of course, too, the King of Pentacles or Elder of Pentacles reversed is, a lack of mastery of the external material world. Basically, I'm not getting the dough that I thought I would be getting, or the success that I thought I would be getting, or, it could also be, if this is a home situation for you, where you're at, is not really a good place for you to be in terms of your happiness. You know, it could be maybe you purchased a home and you found out there's a lot of issues with it. So now you're considering maybe, you know, or you're renting, for example, maybe. And so you're considering moving on from this, but you're like, am I too frivolous? Should I just keep sticking it out? But, you know, I feel like there's pressure to move on forward to, especially with judgment, is like, I want to move to like a higher place. Usually it means spiritually, but because of the abundance of pentacles in this reading, which is the earth suit, I think this is less of a spiritual issue and this is more of a, okay, daily life. I'm, you know, the soul in the meat suit. This is a soul in the meat suit kind of problem of a human problem of, yes, money or your home, right? And so that's what you're coming across here is, am I making the right decision? What decision do I make? You know, same thing with She Who Divines, Futura here, future choice judgment. You're like, I don't know if I leave this job or I leave this place that I'm living, is it a really good idea? Or, you know, should I just stick it out and try to overcome the obstacles with the job or the house that I have or apartment, whatever your situation specifically is? And so, yes, like with the Mothman, there's a feeling of discernment here. Like, okay, do I have all the information to go ahead? Do I have everything I need? Am I really making a good decision, or am I just following what my heart says rather than my mind, and kind of discerning between those two? And I see that in tarot readings a lot, where a common issue, even in my own readings with myself, but readings I've done for other people and on my channel, is, you know, we have a lot of issues deciding between the heart and the mind, pile number one. So it's just a very human issue that we deal with. Our heart says one thing, our mind says another. And so I think right now it's your mind questioning your heart with this decision. Like, do I move on forward? Is it the right thing to do? Things like that. But where you are, I can tell you, it doesn't seem like you're very happy, especially with these reversed pentacles at the beginning here. You're not very happy. It's, you know, especially if it is a job related thing, it's like, hey, I'm putting in all this effort. I'm not really getting the promotion or the raises that I should be getting based on my effort and my skill and what I'm offering this company. Or if it's a business, it's like, you know, I'm not getting the sales I need based on the, you know, the quality of what I offer people or the services that I offer people, whatever your business might be, if it's goods or services, it depends, right? That type of thing. And it's like, it should be going a lot better than it is, but for some reason it just hasn't. And so there's just been a lot of obstacles to overcome for you, pile number ones. And I get that frustration in this reading for you. I can feel that, like, just a long, drawn-out sigh is what I hear when I look at your reading here. Like, you're just frustrated. Ugh, so that's the situation at hand, pile number ones, okay? See if there's anything else I can glean about what's going on here before I move on to your advice. Yeah, because you have a pretty straightforward reading, pile number ones. To summarize, like I said, you're coming across a choice. You're not sure if it's the right choice to make, but where you're at right now really isn't that fun. So you're like, I don't know, I think I should get moving and go where the sun is a little bit brighter and the grass is a little bit greener. Especially, too, I think, with Ask Your Spirit Guides as the pile leader you chose, I'm pretty sure that maybe you already have been asking your spirit guides, and so you've been looking for a sign of like, hey, can you guys throw me a bone and, you know, maybe point me in the right direction? And then, so this reading, and of course, other ways they might reach out to you, you know, through meditation or your own readings, perhaps, whatever you prefer, pile number ones. This is their answer to you, okay? So they're acknowledging that this is what they want to talk to you about. This should I stay or should I go type reading. Before I move on to the advice section, pile number ones, I want to glean a little bit more about what's frustrating about this place. I do know, like I said, with the pentacles here, I'm pretty sure you feel like you're not getting out of it what you've been putting in, but I want to get a little bit more of a glimpse here. Spirit guides for pile number ones, could you give me 3 tarot cards explaining more about why they're frustrated with where they are, just for me as the reader, just to get a bit of a glimpse? 3 cards, please. Thank you. I mean, of course, you guys know why you're frustrated, but me as the reader, I just want to know a little bit more. So, 2 of Wands reversed, feeling like we can't make plans for the future. Interesting. Okay. Then we have the Empress reversed. Lack of nurturing. Yeah, it's just not a very fertile place for your goals, I think, pile number ones. Okay, yeah. And then, Chaos, Chariot reversed. Lots of chaos. Yeah, so it's, to me, if this is a job for you, pile number ones, I get the feeling that wherever you're at right now, it almost feels kind of dead end to you, especially with the Two of Wands reversed feeling like, I feel like I can't make plans for the future. And then the Empress reversed is like a lack of nurturing. It's like a lack of feminine energy, basically, to summarize. Things aren't being nurtured there. You're not being nurtured there by your company to want to stay. Like, they're not really giving you a lot of incentive to be loyal. And then the Chariot reverse is like a lot of chaos. So I don't know if like there's just poor management here. If this is like the case where this is a job that you're maybe considering leaving, pile number ones, and or like if this is a business, it's just like maybe the market isn't very fertile for the thing that you sell or the goods that you offer, services that you offer, etc. And so you're wondering like, oh man, like this is really chaotic. Like, did I make a bad plan for the future? Should I just give up now? Or for example, if this is like a home situation, it's kind of the same thing. The home isn't very, you know, it doesn't fit what you need, I feel like, especially with Empress reversed. And I too feel a little bit with that Chariot reverse, like chaos. Like maybe there's been a lot more repairs on it, or like if it's a rented place, like things need to be repaired, but your landlord isn't really doing what they're supposed to be doing in terms of helping you out and making sure things are maintained. There's a very strong source of frustration here of like, this is not giving me what I need. Okay, that's what I'm feeling for you, pile number ones. So all right, we'll move on to the advice section. What does your spirit guides want to say to you in terms of what to do? Maybe, well, I don't know. We'll see if they give you advice on what choice to make. Typically, I see in tarot readings there tends to be more free will, because I think in the end, your spirit guides want you to make the choice. They want you to feel empowered, but we'll try to see what is their best advice for you, pile number one. Let's shuffle the deck here. So we have the Oracle cards earlier that I talked about. We'll put these up here. Spirit guides for pile number ones. Could you give me 5 cards, please, explaining more about what's your advice for them in this situation as they debate on staying or going, or how to navigate this hard time? 5 cards, please. Thank you. For their highest, best good. Interesting. Yeah, that one for sure. Okay. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right there. Let us see. Excuse me. Let's reveal your oracle cards. So first up we have, okay, gratitude. Interesting. Set that one up here. Gratitude from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle, all right. Then from the Angel Guide Oracle, you received yes. Someone's leaping for joy. Yes. So we'll talk about your tarot cards in a second, pile number ones. But if this is a yes or no question choice that you're coming across, I think what they're saying is they're encouraging you to go for the yes option, whatever that is for you specifically. It's going to be different for everyone because this is a general reading, but if it's a simple yes or no question, maybe the question you came to this reading with, the answer is yes, it seems like. An exuberant yes. And then gratitude is interesting. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, and then I'm going to set these down here, actually. We'll kind of make it a, well, sorry, once again, pile ones are always my guinea pigs. My poor pile ones. You're my warriors and my troopers, dealing with my shuffling around. Okay, your first card is, okay, so the 4 of Wands is the card of being happy at home. Yep, so that was kind of like what I was saying before. Also can be the card of celebrations. We have the 8 of Swords, feeling mentally trapped somewhere. Okay. Number 3, we have the 3 of Cups reversed, something about bad social groups or a negative social event. Interesting. The Hierophant reversed is letting go of traditions or the way it's always been. Inviting in new energy. Okay. And last but not least, we have the 2 of Wands reversed again, which is feeling like we can't make plans for the future. So 1 second, once again, I'm going to just take a pause to look over your cards to put together the advice from their messages, pile number ones. Apologies for the silence. So pile number ones. The first thing that leapt out at me from the advice cards here is what they want to say to you, what I'm being told to tell you is whatever is best for you in terms of what is best for your living situation and what is best for your mental peace and freedom because of the 4 Wands and the 8 of Swords. Think about those things when you make this choice. There's something about... I feel like with the 3 of Cups reversed here, there's something in this situation where there's like a social group at this job or something like you're dissatisfied with the other people involved, it feels like. That might even be like your biggest main stressor that's maybe encouraging you to leave if this is like a job or... Yeah, same thing too, like if it's a business, it feels like you're just not getting the customers you used to, or... like they're not coming as, like if you have just started this business, like they're not coming as fast as you thought they would. And then same thing too, if this is like your home, it's like there's people just not working with you with the 3 of Cups reverse, like the landlord example I was saying earlier, say if you rent a place and they're not fixing things up like they're supposed to. Yeah, so when you make this decision, focus on, yes, what would make your living situation better, especially in the way of mental health, how it affects your mental health, also your mental freedom, freeing up so you don't have to worry about things. Okay, keep that in mind when you make this decision. The less worry on your mind, the more you can focus on other things, the less stressed out you are, right? Same thing too with the Hierophant reversed. Focus on letting go of the old, bringing in something new. Just because you stayed someplace for a certain time doesn't mean it always has to be that way. Don't be afraid to invite in new energy here, pile number ones, with the Hierophant reversed. Same thing too with the 2 of Wands reversed. That's the card of feeling like, if I had to say it in a sentence, it's like, I feel like I can't make plans for the future. Go to a place where you feel like there is a pathway into the future. Like if it's a dead-end job, choose to go to a place that allows you a pathway forward instead of just you being stuck there because of whatever reason. You know, either the company wants you to stay in a certain position because they like you there because you're effective there, even though it's not fair to you in terms of your own growth. I've seen that happen a lot with people I know before. You know, sometimes you're so good at your job that they just keep you in one position and they never promote you because you're really good there. And, you know, great for the company and not so good for you and your own growth and your own aspirations, right? So go to a place where you feel like you're going to find the best opportunities for growth, okay, or future plans of yours. What's best for your mental health in terms of mental freedom, not having to worry about things, letting go of the old with the Hierophant reverse, like I said. And then 2 is interesting, gratitude. I'm going to look at this card for 1 second. I'm interested in what the intuitive message with this is here. Just a moment. I'm being told, pile number ones, to be grateful for where you've been has given you so far, but also take it upon yourself to be grateful for the chance that change will offer you in terms of a possible path to a better place, is what I'm being told, okay? Sometimes when a door closes, it can be scary because we're afraid of what has been closed off to us, what we might lose. But at the same time, we should be glad because when a door closes, another one opens. And they're saying to be grateful for that new door opening, to take this chance. And like I said before too, with the Angel Guide Oracle over here, yes, if you've come to this reading with a specific yes or no question in mind, yes is the answer they're offering you in terms of advice. Saying yes to whatever that question is. It's going to be, like I said, different for everybody coming to this reading. But if I had to say a specific answer, pile number ones, I would say you're being highly encouraged to go with the new path and move away from this frustrating place, be it your job, home, business, etc. You always have free will, and I'm never going to give you a tarot reading that says, hey, you have to do this or else. But based on the cards so far from your spirit guides here and the intuitive messages I've gotten, I think you're highly being encouraged to leave for your best interests. Not only your mental health, but also your future growth. Okay, also, especially too, if there is like a negative social group involved in this situation, also for better social opportunities where there will be more supportive people there at this new place. So, yes, if I had to give you a set dead answer, I would say leave for the new place. Or say yes to the question. That's the advice your spirit guides are giving you. That's their vital message for you today, pile number 1s, all right? So, yeah. Hope that was helpful for you, my lovely pile number 1s. As always, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile number 1s. Hello there, my lovely pile number 2s. Welcome to your Pick a Card reading today on the topic of a vital message from your spirit guides. As you recall, your pile leader today was Life Lessons Again, number 18. We have a really gorgeous scenery here of someone sitting under a tree that looks wrapped in stardust. Gorgeous place. I'm going to set that over here next to the pine cone as always with pile leader cards. And this reading, really quick, will just be in 2 different sections today. Section 1 will be the main kind of what's going on, what's the vital message about, and section number 2 will be advice based on the situation. So we'll split the cards now for that purpose. We'll talk about these ones later. And then, of course, I always like to draw the tarot cards on screen for you. So, spirit guides of pile number 2s, could you give me 5 tarot cards explaining more about what's the vital message you want them to hear at the time they view this reading? Thank you for their highest best good. Let's see here for sure. That one right there. 2, 3, 4, and right there, 5. Make things nice and neat. First, we'll reveal your oracle cards. So from the Woodland Wardens Oracle today, you received the Snake and the Fern starting over. Interesting. Talk about that more in a bit. From the Folklore Oracle today, you received the Mishipeshu, which, if you're not familiar, is a being from, I believe, Ojibwe belief. It's basically an underwater panther, like a cat being that resides in the water. This card is usually, in this the Folklore Oracle, described as a card of disruption, navigating through troubled waters. Okay. We're going to set that one up here, I think. And then last but not least, from your Elle Qui Oracle, you received, I believe, Éclat is how you pronounce that. She who regrets, battle, victory, bitterness. Boy, I think you've had a tough time recently, pile number 2s. Especially because, like I said, Mishipeshu is like, it means like disruption, having gone through a troubled time, and then you have, yeah, she who regrets, battle, victory, bitterness, starting over. I would not be surprised if you get the 5 of Swords or the 5 of Wands, but we'll see what comes out with your tarot cards before I say conclusively. So, first up, we have the Devil. Devil in tarot means the things that bind us or hold us back. Interesting. Yeah, not a fun time. 2 of Wands reversed, feeling like we're unable to make plans for the future. Number 3, the 4 of Cups reversed. Paying attention to something that we didn't pay attention to before. Finding interest in something, the opposite of apathy, basically. Number 4, the Chariot. Taking control of the reins of life. Reigning in chaos, having willpower and drive. Interesting. And last but not least, we have the 7 of Pentacles reversed. Needing more work on something. So the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Swords did not come out. I was incorrect, but let's see here. I'm going to take a drink and look over your cards before I put together the message. Apologies, just a little bit of silence while I look over everything. You know, the first thing that pops out to me, pile number 2, is I feel like, yes, so like I already said, there has been a time of trouble for you in the recent past, or maybe even a longer time period, depending on who you are. Generating everyone's going to be just a bit different. But it's been a really tough time for you, pile number 2 is what I'm feeling. I mean, yeah, you got bitter, victory, regret, you got smishy peshy, which like I said is disruption. And the strange thing though is I feel like you almost went through it not even knowing how difficult it was. Like it almost kind of snuck up on you. And it was something that you didn't realize was holding you back or making you upset or having a negative influence until more recently. And then you were like, well, wait a minute. Like the imagery I'm understanding or like receiving from your spirit guides right now is it's like you were walking along with an anchor on your ankles and you didn't even realize that, hey, wait a minute, it's not normal to have that heavy of a weight dragging behind me, holding me down or holding me back. And all of a sudden you were like, okay, you know, life could be a lot easier if I didn't have this issue. And so I don't know if you're quite at the moment yet where you have, you know, especially because you got the 2 of Wands reversed, which is like feeling like we haven't made a plan for the future yet. I don't think, or at least I'm not sure if you're at the point yet where you've found out kind of how to get rid of this thing, this issue. But whatever it was something, I especially with the devil right here, with the things that hold us back, the things that weigh us down. Sometimes it can mean like addictions. Sometimes it can mean like a lover that was holding us back, or a person that was like toxic. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be platonic. And it's just been weighing on you for so long, and it's like you didn't even realize that you were in that cage. And so now you're faced with, okay, well, what the heck do I do now? Because, you know, this has been a part of my life for so long, and it's been so entrenched in like my identity, and it just has felt like this is the normal. That, well, now that I know it's not normal, or it's not something that I want in my life anymore, well, how the heck do I go from here? And so that's what your spirit guides want to talk to you about today. Pile number 2 is something that you recently, especially with the 4 of Cups reversed here in like the present position. I almost kind of read these like a timeline. It's like you finally noticed and you're like, well, hey, wait a minute. Like you were apathetic about it before, you just didn't notice, and then now you're like, well, wait a minute, this has been a pain in my butt. What do I do about it? Like in 2, especially the snake is like starting over. I feel like it's something very new to your life to make this decision to change or to get rid of this toxic thing or this toxic person. And it's almost like completely revitalizing or starting your life over again after this difficulty. So finally now you're like, okay, I'm going to take the reins with the Chariot. I'm going to take the reins. I'm going to take control over my life more. I'm going to take control of this situation. But, you know, with the 7 of Pentacles reversed here, it's like you're not quite at the point of putting in the hard work yet, because you're just not even sure, well, how the heck do I do this, or what do I do? Like, how do I get rid of this toxic thing in my life that doesn't serve me anymore? And so you're stuck in this part of just, well, what do I do now? Like, and especially too, I think it's very intimidating because it is such a strong, big thing. It feels like a big mountain in your way. It's like, well, how the heck am I supposed to crest that? Like, it's so intimidating that it's difficult to move forward into the future, pile number 2. And so it's, I mean, you might be just kind of hemming and hawing about like, well, God, all this effort, you know, do I just maybe cling on to what it is now? Like maybe it isn't so bad, or, you know, well, maybe I do know it's bad and I should get rid of it, or I should change, or, you know, move away from this thing. But it's just so big and intimidating that you're like, well, where do I even start? Like, what step do I take? So that's what your spirit guides want to talk to you about today. Pile number 2 is, you know, probably in the advice section, they're going to give you advice on, well, what is the first step to take? Because they want to help you get past this time of regret and troubled waters, having to navigate these issues. And they want you to be happy again, and they want you to find a place that is more positive for you. They want you to start over, I think. Pile number 2 is hence the snake and the fern that you received here from the Woodland Wardens Oracle. So let's see if I can glean anything else. You Yeah, I'm going to ask, just for my clarity as the reader, pile number 2, if your spirit guides can give me a few cards explaining what the issue is. Okay. Now, everyone is going to be different because this is a general reading, but I just want to see. Spirit guides for pile number 2, could you talk more about, like, what the issue is, or, like, what's so intimidating about moving away from it? Like, give me a bit of a glimpse, please, for their highest best good. 3 cards, please. What is the issue? What's going on here? I just want to understand. Temperance reverse, lack of moderation, lack of balance. Something's out of balance for sure. Okay. We have Judgment reverse, lots of major arcana, which is interesting. I always say this in my readings. You have a lot of major arcana. You have not only the Devil, the Chariot, you also have Temperance and Judgment. And, well, here, I'll pull the 3rd card before I say anything. You have Justice, okay? Also major arcana, and then this one flipped out too. Let's see what this is. 3 of Swords reverse, so I'll talk about that in a second. Look at all these major arcana. Also, too, you got your pile leader is life lessons. Those of you familiar with my readings are going to laugh because I always say this. When I see a lot of major arcana in a reading, it either means a major life change for the querent, aka you, or it means this is a major life lesson that you were meant to learn in this particular life on Earth, my lovely pile number 2s. Funny that you did pick life lessons here as your pile leader. Life lessons, again, specifically. Could be something that you've struggled with in past lives, if you are like me, of the belief of past lives, reincarnation. Could be something that you've even dealt with in this life before, and you've come across it again, and you're like, okay, how did I slip back into this? What do I do? So, anyways, the question I asked, like I said, was, well, what exactly is the issue? What is this thing? So lack of moderation or imbalance here. Judgment is feeling like we're stuck in one place. We can't really, like, spiritually or physically move to a better place. Justice is the fairness of something, and then 3 of Swords reversed is like moving on from pain. So it's something that's very painful for you, pile number 2, is that you're trying to get away from, that has been an imbalance in your life, and you just have felt kind of stuck. And then the Justice card, too, is interesting. 1 second, I'm going to look at that intuitively. It's something, too, where I feel like it started as something small, but then over time, the repercussions of staying in this place of imbalance and pain have affected more and more things in your life, and that's why you're like, you know what, forget it. I'm finally, I can't deal with this anymore. I have to move away from this place of pain. That's what I'm getting told intuitively. Like the ripple effect here on the Justice card. It started affecting more than you thought it would. It's like a problem that started really small and that kept growing bigger and bigger and bigger, out of control. And a lack of balance. Okay. So let's move on to the advice part of your reading, pile number 2s. Let's talk about what your spirit guides want to tell you on maybe surmounting this kind of a big mountain in your way of this struggle, because, you know, they don't want you suffering, right? They don't want you stuck here in this place. So we'll clear the board. And then shuffle your tarot deck here. Spacious Tarot. I always like this deck. It's very beautiful. I like nature-oriented stuff. So let's take your oracle cards here from earlier that we talked about. And then spirit guides for my lovely pile number 2s. Could you give me 5 tarot cards of advice for them? What would your advice be for them moving forward after this reading about how to get away from this bad place, like, or this bad thing? 5 cards, please. Thank you. For their highest best good, what is your advice for your pile 2s? Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, not a fun place to be able to reveal your oracle cards, pile 2s. From the Vintage Wisdom Oracle, you have patience. Alright, I was intuitively, Rome wasn't built in a day, I'm being told. Rome was not built in a day. Patience. So don't beat yourself up just because it isn't an immediate fix, is what I'm being told to tell you, okay? Your angel guide oracle is harmony and resolution, okay? Bringing back that balance. harmony. Also, I'm hearing something about music. I don't know if this is something that getting into music or creating music might help, especially if it's like a mental health related thing. Music. Harmony and resolution. All right. Let's reveal your tarot cards. You have the Nine of Swords, anxiety, mental stress. Okay. Number 2, the Ten of Pentacles reversed, lack of inheritance or lack of legacy. Lack of resolution in the material world sometimes it means. Okay. We have the Nine of Pentacles reversed, feeling like we're not getting the fruits of our labor. The Child or the Page of Swords, exploring a new way of thinking. Like the crow is looking at the sword upside down. Like, hey, wait a minute, this looks different when I look at it from a different angle. And last but not least, we have the Seven of Swords. Sometimes can mean deception or trickery. So 1 second, I'm going to take a drink and then put together a cohesive message for you, pile number 2s. So, okay, right off the bat, pile number 2s. I'm being strongly told, if you're not already in therapy for this, or just in general, if it is available to you. I know times are tough right now, not only just like monetarily, economically, but also I know a lot of therapists don't have a lot of openings right now, at least in America. That seems to be an issue at the time of this recording. If it is available to you and if you can find a therapist, I'm being told that that probably would be a big help, specifically intuitively, not only just because you received a lot of swords cards, which are about, especially the Nine of Swords, is about anxiety. I feel like it's a very mental focused problem. And so, yeah, I was intuitively told to say something about therapy would be a good help for you, I think, pile number 2. So, right. If you can find a therapist with availability and or if you have that available to you as an option monetarily. So, you know, that would be step number 1, I feel like, in overcoming this obstacle, this place of sadness or toxicity. 2, patience, being patient with yourself. Like I said, intuitively, I was told when I pulled that card out, Rome was not built in a day, pile number 2. It's not something that you have to overcome like that. And I don't even think it is something you could overcome right away quickly. So have the grace and the patience with yourself to say, hey, you know what? I can take this with baby steps. I don't have to overcome this all at once. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be Superman and completely fix the world's problems all in a day. I can just take it 1 step at a time. Okay? Patience with yourself and patience with the process. 2, harmony and resolution. I feel like not only is that an indicator of, intuitively I'm being told that it's an indicator that this is probably the last time you'll deal with this issue in this particular life and or throughout all of your multiple lives you've lived. You know, of course, I believe in reincarnation personally, if you also ascribe to that belief. I feel like, especially with life lessons again, this is the final crux, the final zenith of this particular issue recurring in your past lives and in this particular life, pile number 2. That's why your spirit guides, this is a vital message that they want to reach out to you with. Now is the time to overcome and resolve resolution this particular issue. And then, yes, harmony, finding more harmony in your life, finding more balance, finding more mental health, especially because of all of the abundance of swords cards, especially the Nine of Swords. This is the time to resolve it. There's no time like the present, I'm being told, for you. So start right away working on this. But remember, patience. You don't have to fix everything in a day, pile number 2. Slow and steady wins the race is another good quote to live by. Specifically, too, with your tarot cards. Let's see here. There's some aspect of the message here where they're telling me that you owe it to yourself to overcome this issue, because overcoming this and finding the peace from the resolution is what you deserve after all the hard times that you've gone through, especially with the Nine of Pentacles reversed here. It's like mentally shifting, especially being next to the Page of Swords here, mentally shifting the way you view overcoming this. Instead of viewing this as, okay, this is a problem I have to get rid of, or this is a problem I need to get away from, view it as this is me doing something good for myself for the first time in a while, at least in this particular area of my life. Think of it as you owe it to yourself for all the struggle that you've come through, pile number 2. You owe it to yourself to give yourself the chance for something better. Okay? That's what I'm intuitively being told with these cards here. I think it's not so much that I think your spirit guides are saying it's not so much that you don't know what step to take next towards a better place. It's that the way that you think about it might require a shift before you can take that step, and that's why it seems insurmountable or intimidating. Does that kind of make sense, pile number 2? It's almost like, especially to here with the Seven of Swords, that's the card of deception or trickery. It's almost like you have to trick your mind into thinking about it in a different way, like with the Page of Swords. Instead of thinking as this anxious, oh no, I need to fix this problem right now, immediately, oh god, it's so, oh, like it's this big mountain in my way, I just can't overcome this. Shift it, and this might be where therapy would help if that is an option available to you. To reshift the way that you think about your life or rethink about the way you tackle this problem. So that it's like, yeah, it's almost kind of like deceiving yourself, but it's not with the Seven of Swords. It's just shifting the way you think about it so that it doesn't look like a mountain, and instead it just looks like one step at a time. But yes, you owe it to yourself, pile number 2. Think of it as a gift to yourself to overcome this issue, a gift to get away from the pain, a gift to get away from the imbalance, and to find harmony, and to, like I said when I first pulled out harmony and resolution, I feel like music is a part of this. I don't know why. It's very strange, but music can be very healing. Music can help us get in touch with the way that we feel. Music can help us, especially when we compose music, you know, especially lyrical music, you know, like say writing a song. That's not only poetry, it's also expression in the way of, you know, the key that you might compose something in, or the certain notes you might have, or the instruments you might have, depending on what genre you're in, of course. But if that is of interest of you, I think your spirit guides are saying there's something about music that would be very therapeutic in overcoming this issue. Music. Interesting. Let's see if there's any other messages here. Sorry for the silence for a second. But yeah, it's almost like I'm being told, kind of like what I was saying before, like I feel like this is the last incarnation of this issue throughout all of your reincarnations that have dealt with this particular issue. This is like you can't give up now. This is the final battle of this issue. It's kind of like when you watch a movie or you read a story, pile number 2. They're showing me, like, okay, it's like, you know, when you read a story or you watch a movie and the characters go through a bunch of different issues and then they get to what's called like the climax or like the final battle, so to speak. It doesn't always have to be a battle. It can be, you know, something else depending on the genre, but it's like you're at that climax, you're at that final battle, and you just have to get over this one little step, and then finally in this life is when you'll overcome and find that resolution. Because literally at the end of a story, if any of you are familiar with writing, that's literally what the time after the climax or the final battle is called. It's called the, sometimes the denouement, but also resolution. You're almost at that cusp. Almost. It's just this mental shift has to occur first of believing in yourself, number 1, being patient with yourself, number 2, but also knowing that you owe it to yourself to find a better place and or to find more peace in your life. Think of it as a gift to yourself rather than like a gift given to yourself one step at a time rather than a big mountain to overcome that's intimidating. Let's see. So I will leave you with that today, pile number 2. As always, I hope that reading was helpful for you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading, pile number 2. Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number 3s. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of a vital message that your spirit guides want to give to you. As you recall, the card used to pick your pile was Share the Gift. We have a green hand with light coming off of it. Gorgeous card. We'll set this over here to the left next to the pine cone, as we always do with pile leaders. And this reading really quickly will be in 2 different sections. The first section will be the meteor section of what's the vital message about, or what's the situation at hand that your spirit guides want to talk to you about. And then section number 2 will be advice on how to move forward with this particular matter. So we'll split the cards right now. We'll talk about these ones later. And then as always, I like to draw the tarot cards on the screen. So spirit guides for my lovely pile number 3s. Could you give me 5 cards for their highest best good? What's the vital message you want to send to them for this video? Thank you. For their highest best good. We already have one that popped out. Okay. We have, spoiler alert, the Ace of Pentacles. Talk about that in a second. Number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's reveal your oracle cards first. So, from the Woodland Wardens Oracle, we received the Snail and the Huckleberry. Trust in the invisible. Set that one up here next to your pile leader. Oopsie, there goes the foliage. Kind of tuck that in there. There we go. Next up, from the Folklore Oracle, you received the Headless Rider. And in this particular deck, this card means impulsivity or being careful before making a decision or thinking things through before rushing into a situation. There we go. I'm going to actually set that one up here, I think. And then from the Elle Qui Oracle for you today, you received Jocelyn, She Who Persists, Perspective, Defiant, Persistent. Maybe something about a goal? Let's look at your tarot cards before I say anything conclusive, though. So first up with your tarot, we received the Ace of Cups reversed. Sometimes can mean like we feel a lack of emotion about something, or it can mean something new in terms of the field of emotions that didn't work out the way we expected or didn't start the way we expected. We'll see what else pops out next to it. We have the Four of Pentacles. Let's see. Withholding our resources. Oh, okay. Yep. Sorry. Intuitive thing came through. 1 second. And then we have the Guardian of Wands. That is the Queen of Wands in most decks reversed. Feeling like we lack the internal willpower or fire energy for something. Interesting. It's a little bit of a pattern forming. Yeah, okay. And we have the Guardian of Cups, which is the Queen of Cups reversed in most decks. Feeling like we lack internal emotional security about something. Interesting. And then last but not least, we have what we already revealed, spoiler alert, the Ace of Pentacles. A lot of aces. Ace of Pentacles is about a new opportunity in the material world. Or at least desiring one can be one interpretation. So I'm going to take a drink. I'm going to take 1 second. Apologies for the silence as I look over your cards and put together a cohesive message and get some moisture in my throat. 1 second. Let's see. Trust in the invisible. Okay. I see. All right. Sorry for the silence extended there, pile number 3. So I just was making sure the message was coming through clear with your spirit guides. So pile number 3, what I'm being told is this vital message is about a situation where, what's the best way to put it? There is, there's a goal that you've been seeking. That's how I'm going to put it. There's a goal you have been seeking, pile number 3. And I feel like it's been a little bit of a tough road in pursuing this goal. And because it's been a little bit of a tough road for you, I think you've been influenced or maybe leaning towards doing something a bit more drastic to reaching that goal more than you already have been doing. Okay. Or another way to put that, maybe that was a little bit of a messy way of putting that, is there's something that you've been striving for and you haven't seen the results that you want yet. And so you're being tempted towards really going for it in a more aggressive way or a more aggressive manner, or doing something a little bit more aggressively to get to that goal because you feel like it's not something that's coming to you as fast as you would like it to. It's not, I mean, what I'm being told is that it's like being told, okay, to get to your destination, it's a 4-hour trip and it's been 8 hours for you. And you're like, okay, well, you know, TikTok, you know, I was told it would take 4 hours and it's been taking 8 hours to get to this destination, metaphorically speaking. Okay. It's like you, sorry, adjusting my chair. Yeah, it's like you put in the effort. You're like, I put in the time. I've put in everything that I need, but maybe I'm not putting in enough. So maybe if I just barrel through it and put in more effort and put in more time, I'll get what I'm seeking. However, along the way, it's been dinging your confidence. It's been dinging your emotional security around this whole situation. Maybe you even feel like, was this even a good idea? Like, was I too, you know, impulsive in going forward with this goal? Or maybe I'm not being impulsive enough. Maybe I need to be more aggressive about it. Maybe I need to go forward a little faster. And so you're stuck in this holding pattern of, do I move forward faster and more aggressively after this goal, or is it better to kind of keep the pace that I've been going and hope that that is the best pace to go at? Because I feel like if you do go faster, or if you do go after this a little bit more aggressively, pile number 3, the fear there is there's going to be, you feel like you're being too impulsive if you do that, and or you feel like there's a risk if you do it a little bit faster, or put maybe it's not even necessarily time. It could also be resources too, especially here with the 4 of Pentacles is about being careful with our resources, or holding our resources closer to our chest. But you're like, well, you know, I don't know, do I pull the trigger on this and go forward? Do I really seek this goal more exuberantly than I have been, more aggressively than I have been? But, you know, but yeah, it's that uncertainty is a perfect way to summarize your reading, pile number 3, and what your spirit guides want to talk to you about is, you know, am I divinely protected on this mission or going for this goal? You know, do I pursue it more, or do I kind of just see what happens? Something like that, to that effect. Actually, I'm going to draw 3 more cards to get more context in what this is. Spirit guides for pile number 3. Could you give me 3 cards, maybe? For their highest best good. What is going on here? What is it that they're aggressively seeking? 3 cards. I mean, you did get 2 Pentacles, so I want to say I feel like it might be a career goal, but okay. Oh, yep, some more Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles reversed is wanting to put more work into something. Okay, planting more seeds for something. The 6 of Cups reversed is something, it could be a negative from childhood. Interesting. That's an interesting card to get. Talk about that in a second. And then the 9 of Swords is anxiety. What's this about? Putting more work into something regarding that you've been worried about regarding like childhood. Now that's interesting. Or at least something negative from childhood, especially with it being reversed, the Six of Cups. Sometimes can also just mean from the past. One second. Aggressively pursuing. Sorry for the silence again, pile number 3s. I almost wonder if you're trying to distance yourself from your past in a way. And maybe you feel like you haven't distanced yourself enough, or some element from your past, especially with that Six of Cups reversed. Of course, this is a general reading, so everybody's going to be a little bit different, but yeah. And so you're like, well, do I run away from this thing faster, or do I keep on with what this is? But I just feel like you're really tired, pile number 3. Like, tiredness is the main word I'm getting here, too. Interesting. From the past. But whatever the goal is, it's something you really want. Yeah, I don't know if it's like a certain job or like a promotion, but I feel like this might be more of an emotional thing for you, pile number 3s, because of that Six of Cups reversed. Also, you got the Ace of Cups reversed earlier as the first card. It's like discontentment with something. So you're like, do I move away from what was? Fascinating. Okay. Well, let's move on to the advice part of your reading, pile number 3s. Clear the board here. She who persists, too. Yeah, I almost get like an element of stubbornness, too. I feel like you're very, and I mean this in a positive way, though, pile number 3s. I feel like you're very determined, maybe is a better positive connotation. A very stubborn person, though, which I 100% get. I'm a very stubborn person myself. Yeah. And trust in the invisible. So that's part of maybe why you came to this reading, pile number 3s, is because you're like, you know, I've been wanting this so bad. I've been trying to get away from this and or move towards better pastures. But, you know, I've been persistent. I've been, you know, but do I invest more into getting away from this or putting more into making this happen faster? And you're like, hey, spirit guides, give me a sign. And you're like, you know, I've tried to be patient, especially with trust in the invisible, but it's like, I need answers now. That's intuitively the feeling I'm getting from your reading, pile number 3s. So let's shuffle your cards. Interesting reading. You definitely have the most unique reading today, pile number 3s. So let's shuffle your cards on screen here, like I always like to do. Spirit guides for my lovely pile number 3s. Could you give me 5 cards of advice for them on how to move forward with this situation, please? Thank you. 5 for their highest, best, good. Okay. So we have the 9 of Swords again. Okay, that one popped out too. We have the 7 of Wands. 9 of Swords is anxiety. 7 of Wands reversed is feeling like everything is against me. Ooh. Okay. And then 3 more cards here. Let's see, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, not a fun place to be, pile number 3. So you really aggressively want to get away from something, I feel like. Okay, let's reveal your oracle cards. Advice here we have Power from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. Power. Oh, okay, yep. Yep, okay. And then the Angel Guide Oracle, you received Opportunity and Change, which is interesting because you also got the Ace of Pentacles before. That usually is the card of opportunity. Opportunity and Change. Fascinating. Then your first tarot is the 6 of Pentacles, equal distribution of material goods, fairness. Ace of Wands, a spark of inspiration. Three of Wands, making action on plans we have made for the future. The pathway forward. A lot of Wands. Look at all this fire energy. Something you're very passionate about. Seven of Wands reversed. Pile number 3 is, like I said, when it first flipped out, this is the card of feeling like everything is against me. Like you're this one lone wand and all these other angry wands are against you. Especially reversed. Maybe recovering from a time. Pile 3 is, I don't know if there was like a group of people from your past that were against this path for you, and that's why that 6 of Cups reversed came up earlier, especially with the 7 of Wands reversed here. It's like people being against you in some way. And then, yeah, the 9 of Swords again is anxiety or fear. Especially, I mean, like being this mouse with these big swords coming down at you. Yeah, so pile number 3 is, if I had to give you a summary of your advice from your spirit guides here on what to do in this situation, they're definitely leaning towards, or telling you at least, to lean towards the way forward for you, pile number 3, is to step into your power. To believe in your own power. To believe that you know the way forward, you've planned this out enough already. You have all the fire energy you need, especially with the abundance of wands here. Okay, that's a lot of fire energy. You have all the energy and the resources and the power and the skills that you need to move forward in this situation. And that might be that stubbornness or determinedness that I was talking about earlier. Like, you're very dead set on this, and it's very... So they're saying that I think this is coming to you, pile number 3. So don't fear that, like, you're not going to reach the goal that you're seeking. You're going to get there. It's just that you need to believe in yourself more on the way there. Believe in what you bring to the table to make this goal come to fruition. And if you're asking the question, especially too with the 4 of Pentacles you received before, if you're asking the question of should I put more time into this? Should I be more aggressive about pursuing this goal? Should I put more resources into pursuing this goal? I would say, it's not so much about how much you put into one area. It's how much time or how many resources you put into different baskets regarding this goal. I know that sounds kind of weird and vague, pile number 3s, but the reason I'm saying that is because you have the 6 of Pentacles over here on the left. It's equal distribution of resources. So if you have been going about this goal, putting all your eggs in one basket, I would say instead of putting more eggs in that one basket, pile 3s, try to tackle the problem or getting towards your goal from maybe another angle at the same or in a different way than the way that you've been going, or tackle it from 2 different angles at once. Does that kind of make sense, pile 3s? I know I can't give more concrete details than that because this is a general reading. Everyone's going to be different, but like, say, what's a good example? I'm just going to use an example for you, pile 3s. Like, let's say that you have been starting a business. Just an example. Okay. People were against the idea with, like, the 7 of Wands reversed here. People were against your idea, but you're like, hey, I have plans for the future. I have this idea. I really want to go forward. I think, maybe I should invest more time in this. Maybe I should invest more, resources into this. Maybe it's that you've already started it, but you had like another job alongside it, and now you're like, well, now I'm going to fully put all my efforts and my investment and energy in this one thing, because this is what I want. And maybe people were against that, but you're like, no, this is the thing that I desire the most. This is my life to live. This is what I'm going to do. Okay. What I meant earlier when I said, you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket, you know, tackle it from different angles, is like, let's say you want to gain more customers. I'm still going with the business metaphor, right? Everyone's going to be different, but let's just say it's a business right now. You might think, okay, I had to put all of my marketing or all my money and all my time and resources into more aggressive marketing to get more customers in this hypothetical business. However, you might think about, okay, let's say I'm going to set up, you know, set aside some money for marketing, but what I'm also going to do is maybe relooking at my product line or what services I offer and put money and time into that. So it's like tackling it from two different angles, because it might be, yes, technically maybe marketing will help you gain more customers in this hypothetical example, but it could also be maybe you're just not offering exactly what your target customer base wants. Maybe it's just rewording it a little bit, maybe something like that. So tackle this problem, whatever it is. You know, not everybody's, it's not going to be a business for everybody, but whatever the issue is, pile number 3 is, instead of really focusing on one, okay, I'm going to dump all my money and time and resources into pursuing this goal in this area, try to tackle it from 2 different angles. Okay, that's what I'm being told for you. Equal distribution of resources here with the 6 of Pentacles. I know that business example was a bit long-winded, but that's kind of what I'm talking about, because, you know, when I just say tackle it from 2 different angles, it's kind of more vague. So I'd use the business example just to give it a little bit more example, tangible what I meant. But yes, believe in this goal, pile number 3s. Believe that you have the power to do it. Believe that you're on the right path. Let go of your anxiety and mental worry here with the 9 of Swords. And know that you have all the fire energy that you need to succeed in this area. You have the Ace of Wands, inspiration. You have the 3 of Wands, a plan, able to go through it in the future. 7 of Wands reversed. You have the ability to overcome what people told you that you couldn't do. Specifically for you, pile 3s, like I said, I think because you got the 6 of Cups reversed earlier, it's someone from your past, maybe even family, that told you, I don't think this is a good idea. And you're saying, like with Jocelyn here, I'll pull her out again. You know, defiant, persistent. You're saying, hey, you know what? I'm doing this anyways because this is my dream and this is what I want. Lean into that power. Lean into your stubbornness. Lean into your determination and keep going forward, okay? And if you do want to invest more time and resources, like I said, tackle it from different angles. Split the money or split the time, your energy, in different areas to make this come to fruition, okay? Same thing too with opportunity and change. You know, change is on the win for you, pile number 3s. Take opportunities where you can get them towards this goal. Being resourceful. Especially too, because this is like a doorway. That's interesting. 1 second here. I'm going to see if there's an intuitive message with this. Apologies for the silence. Yeah, okay, so I'm being told you're right on the cusp of something with this, pile number 3s. If you've been looking for a breakthrough recently with this goal, I feel like you're right on the cusp of that breakthrough. You're right on the threshold. So keep going. No matter how hard it's been. You're almost there, I feel like, pile number 3s, and that's what your spirit guides want to emphasize too. You're almost there. Let go of the naysayers. Screw them, right? Screw the naysayers, right? And yeah, give it everything you've got from a different angle, almost like, you know, if you've ever studied like military history, I'm being told like siege, like, so basically in history, in military history, a lot of times during a battle, the opposing army would come up to a city and they would completely surround it. So they would cut off the resources of that city. So eventually they would have to kind of give in to the opposing army. It's like circling the whole problem from every angle to make sure that there's no possible point of failure. And you have the power. You have the strength to do that, pile number 3s, is what your spirit guides are telling you. Just keep going, yeah. You're almost there. In different angles. Because I think they also want to tell you, pile number 3 is intuitively, I'm being told that there's something about what you have to offer with this goal to the world that's a gift to the world. And I think that's why you were drawn to this pile leader, share the gift. There's something you have to offer that's important. And that's why you're being strongly encouraged to keep going. Well, also for your own personal satisfaction too, of course, but so yes, if there have been naysayers from your past, pile number 3 is throw their advice in the trash. I'll just tell you that right now. You have everything you need. You have the strength, you have the power, you have the skills. Keep going, okay? That's what I'll leave you with today, okay? So pile number 3 is, as always, I hope that reading was helpful for you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye.